Edmond Tech Portal Training. Today, we will go over how to load jobs in the portal. The portal is able to log each job, mileage, and job payables. It's best to log in and submit completed jobs each day. You will be able to access the portal from any web browser. You will be provided a user ID and password. User ID and password are maintained by Guardian. Please reach out to your supervisor if you have forgotten or lost your password.
Upon logging in to the tech portal, you will be able to view a summary of your submitted jobs for the current week. This tab is called the weekly activity. This next tab we're going to review in more detail is the payable form. The payable form is the tab that you will access to enter job information. The date will default to the day that you're entering the job. If you are loading jobs for a previous date, you can click on the line and select a previous date of completion. Then you go from left to right, fill in the field boxes. You will load a job number. A job type. For the purpose of this training, the first one we'll select is an installation job. You will then load the customer site. Starting odometer. And your odometer from home to the site. Start time of the travel to the end time of the job. Again, you can select AM and PM. Start time will default at the time of entry into the portal. At the next level of the job information is where you will enter in the type of equipment that was installed. The top two selections are the main equipment, a med dispenser or a purse. So for this training purpose, we will select med dispenser. We will select which type of med dispenser we installed. We will enter in the CS number. Information entered into this portal for this purpose is not real. Then I can select any accessories that I also installed with that pill dispenser. And I will add that line. And you can review med dispenser, MOED600, the CS number. One was installed, and I also installed an accessory. It is important to select the correct item to identify the CS number accurately and any accessories that were installed, as this will be related to your inventory usage. An additional item that you would like to add could potentially be anything else from this drop-down list. So at this installation job, we also installed a lockbox. So I'll select lockbox install. I will choose which one I did install, and I will add the line. Every item that is added has a payout value associated with it. Also on this one, I secured an ACH payment. These fields lockup. We do not allow any further entry except for the notes area where you can type in anything to the contract review team. Now we're going to say that that's all I need to add for this installation job. So I'm going to submit the job for approval. You'll see an error message pop up if you do not submit a contract for an installation job. You will choose your file that is saved from onto your desktop, from your scans, or from your mobile device. Then I will finally click Submit Job for Approval. Let's see what the error is with that. That's because it was the Outlook data file. I did not like that file. Let's see. Let's select this. So with that, it was an acceptable format. Job was submitted successfully. The formats that you would be submitting your contracts under will be PDFs or JPEG picture files. Let's do another example of a job completed today. We will do a service job this time. And my odometer. And this is also my last job of the day. I only had 2 jobs today. So I'm going to enter in, so this is my starting odometer, my site odometer, and then my ending odometer from when I get home. Start time for this travel was 4 o'clock. And I finished at 5:40. I hit continue. Invalid job number or duplicate. So if the job number is not valid or duplicate, you will get an error message. So since I'm making up numbers, I apparently made that number up before. Item type for this service was for a purse. The type of unit that I serviced was a G4000. The CS number. And any accessories that I also installed or used on that service because I need to be able to track my inventory. Also, I was sent out to this home because I had to pick up a G2000. So not only is this portal tracking payments for the work done and inventory installed, it's going to also track inventory picked up from the home. So in order to do this, you would select the item type that was picked up, which is a purse. The item is a G2000. CS number would be the CS number in the home that you're picking up. I'm picking up 1, and I'm going to check this pickup box, which means obviously that's what is coming back into my inventory because it's coming out of the customer's home. Since it's a service job, no contract is required, so you can submit this job for approval. You'll see that a notification pops up. Is it okay to confirm the last job of the day? And I'm going to say okay because it is the last job of the day. It's calculating the end of my mileage calculation for the day. And I hit okay. Job submitted successfully. Now, I can go back to my weekly activity tab, which is where the portal defaults when I log in, and I can see the 2 jobs that are pending for me that I just entered.
Okay. You are at your weekly activity screen. Below, you have your employee number, your name, your address, and your contact number. Over to the right, this is your summarized rate box. Over to the right from that box will show approved, rejected, and pending. Any rejected or pending will show at the bottom of your screen below. You can edit any pending or rejected jobs. If it's pending, you can click on the job number to see why it's still pending. Or if it's rejected, you can also click on the job number to see why that particular job was rejected. I am going to go into an edit job and add a secure ACH. And now I'm going to hit add line. And I will click at the bottom where it's highlighted to show you that it has been added to your box. Now I can submit the job for approval. Job update successfully. Click back on the activity tab, weekly activity tab, and now you will see that job down at the bottom with the secure ACH for the $5. And you should have your total amount for that job as well as the total miles. And then up at the top, you should see $0 for rejected and $144.60 for pending. Your supervisor will go in each Sunday and throughout the week to check your job and approve them. If she has questions on any job, she will reject them and add a note to that particular job.
So as throughout the week, you will see the jobs change statuses from pending to rejected to approved. What shows up for approved during this week's scan is what will be on the check following that submission date. You can scan through previous submissions. Future submissions and weeks will be blank, but it gives you that ability to see. The next thing we wanted to add is that on the payable form, for when we have new installers on board, they usually attend a ride-along training. So I am a veteran installer, and I have somebody riding along with me for this particular job. So I'm going to enter in another job. And this was a service job. And Marion and this was done yesterday. So I did a little traveling to meet them. I only had one job. And throughout my day, that took about that amount of time. Let's see. And I did a service to a med dispenser. Item that I serviced is a MedMiner. CS number. And we ended up bringing a refill tray. So that will come out of my inventory. The CS number that exists in the system currently will not be taken out of my inventory. Add a line. So I did this work for this particular job and now I'm going to add a job training, which adds $5 per job that I have a ride-along trainee with me. So I'm going to add that job training, and I'm going to add the person that rode along with me. And add that line. So that should, when I submit for approval, again, it's going to ask me last job of the day because I added that third odometer reading. Yes. Now I look back at my activity. That should be first because that was done on Monday. And I have my payout for my service job. And these prices are not necessarily accurate. This is a test environment. So the payouts are slightly different that you will see on yours. This is, so you see the payout for the service for med dispenser and then the extra $5 for the job training. Then you see that my pending has adjusted accordingly and added. And the amount of mileage that I'm getting paid out on is estimated. So I say it's estimated because as the calculations go throughout the process, it may be adjusted slightly depending on if end of day odometer was utilized. When you are a new employee or subcontractor technician and you go along for that ride-along training, while the veteran trainer utilizes it, attaches it to the job, you would use this training tab. As a new user, you would go to field, what we call field training, and then you would select who you rode along with. I'm going to pick, Joe does a lot of ride-alongs in the Detroit area. I'm going to select Joe Valente. So what this does is ties me, Jennifer, to the jobs that Joe Valente submits that day because I am paid an hourly rate. So it's all connected in the way that the hours that Joe Valente is claiming for work is also connected to me as a trainee, as I was with him during those hours. Other training could be a meeting, how we have our hourly or our quarterly conference calls. And we were in a conference call for 1 hour and 30 minutes. I'm going to submit that. When did we do that? I forgot to log it. It was in November. I'm going to put that on there. So those are the two training approvals I have outstanding. And go back to my weekly activity. And then there's our summary. And any questions that you guys have with the portal can always be directed to anyone within Guardian, specifically your supervisor, Gigi. Her direct line is 248-233-1541. And her email, you guys will get her email. And then also, I can be contacted as well. My direct extension 248-233-1706, and we will be here to help through this rollout. This will become the new process to submit payroll, to submit mileage, to submit utilized equipment. And this is phase 1. So I thank you for attending this training. And please do not hesitate to ask any additional questions. And we hope you have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.